Hello, my name is Rob and I'm a registered dietitian. This week I wanted to explore the question, is exercise important for weight loss? First and foremost, I want to credit Julia Belluz and Javier Zuricina from Vox and Abby Langer from Abby Langer Nutrition for their excellent articles on this subject. I will link to them both in the description, so go and check them out if you'd like to learn more on this topic. A popular misconception argues that society is getting fatter because we are much less active than we used to be. Evidence suggests that calorie burn also seems to be a trait humans have evolved over time, and that has little to do with lifestyle. A developing understanding has profound implications for how we think about energy expenditure and the extent to which we can modify it with exercise. Although some may argue that weight loss simply comes down to calories in versus calories out, this is an oversimplification, as the latter variable appears to be, at least partially, outside of our control. A growing body of evidence clearly demonstrates a straightforward fact. It is rather challenging for people to lose excess fat by simply exercising more. Before exploring why exercise isn't very beneficial for weight loss, I want to clarify that it is excellent for your mind and body. The best available research has found that exercise typically only leads to modest weight loss. However, even without changing diets, those who exercise more saw a range of health benefits, including reduced blood pressure and blood fats. Regular exercise also reduces our risk of type 2 diabetes, stroke, and heart attack. We also find that people who exercise regularly are at a lower risk of developing cognitive impairment from Alzheimer's and dementia. If you've lost weight, exercise can help you maintain your new lower weight when combined with calorie monitoring techniques. A study from 2017 examined the relationship between exercise and weight loss in contestants on The Biggest Loser, a weight loss reality show. The study author, Kevin Hall, concluded that the people who lost the most weight on the show weren't necessarily people who did the most exercise. Instead, it was the people who ate the least. However, they did find there was a strong relationship between exercise and keeping the weight off. So it's fair to say that including regular periods of activity in our life is one of the best things we can do for our health. A study from 2001 found participants' weight loss was less than expected and that the amount of exercise energy expenditure had no correlation with weight loss over a longer duration. Researchers have followed a range of people from many different backgrounds to explore the effects of increasing levels of exercise on weight. Unfortunately, most people in these studies typically only lost a few pounds, even when tightly controlling calorie intake. Adding physical activity seems to have a very modest effect on weight loss. This becomes apparent when we try to add on the estimated calories burnt through exercise. The numbers just don't add up. A much-cited 1958 study still used today calculated that 1 pound, or about half a kilogram of human fat, contains 3,500 calories. Therefore, cutting 500 calories per day through diet or increasing physical activity results in about a pound of weight loss per week. Similarly, adding 500 calories a day results in a similar amount of weight gain. We now understand that this view was overly simplistic. Human energy balance is a dynamic and adaptable system. Much like how a thermostat regulates the temperature within a house, our body has many feedback loops to maintain homeostasis. Body weight is one such example. One very underappreciated fact about exercise is that those extra calories burned only account for a tiny part of your total energy expenditure, even when you work out. There are three main components to energy expenditure. First, we have basal metabolic rate, or BMR, which is the energy used for basic functioning when the body is at rest. Secondly, we have energy used to break down food. And finally, we have the energy used in physical activity. We have very little control over our BMR, however, it utilises the most significant proportion of our energy requirements. It's generally accepted that BMR counts 60 to 80% of the total energy expenditure for most people, whereas digesting food accounts for about 10%, so that leaves only 10 to 30% for physical activity, of which exercise is only a subset. Unfortunately, a regular exercise program is unlikely to lead to significant weight loss alone. Suppose a hypothetical 90 kilogram or 14 stone man added 60 minutes of medium intensity running 4 days per week, while keeping his calories the same. In that case, we'd expect him to lose about 5 pounds after 30 days of keeping this up. If this person decided to increase food intake or relax more to recover from the added exercise, even less weight would be lost. That's why researchers find again and again that exercise can help maintain weight loss, but it doesn't go very far on its own to help people lose weight. We also have evidence to suggest that people seem to increase their food intake following a workout session. Possible reasons include a perception of burning a lot of energy and earning the food, or experiencing increased physical hunger. Another review of studies from 2012 found people generally overestimated how much energy exercise burned and ate more when they worked out. For example, the calories expended in 1 hour of jogging could easily be eaten within 5 minutes if choosing a high-calorie food such as pizza, ice cream, or fizzy drinks. There's also evidence to suggest that some people simply slow down after a workout, using less energy on their non-gym activities. For example, they might unconsciously decide to lie down to rest, fidget less, or take the elevator instead of the stairs. These changes are called behavioural compensation. In addition to behavioural compensation, researchers have identified the process of metabolic compensation. In other words, our bodies may actively fight our efforts to lose weight, though it may not be the same for everyone. Kevin Hall's group again looked at 14 of the Biggest Loser reality show participants in a more recent study. They took several measurements, including body weight, fat percentage, metabolic rate, and hormone levels. Though all the contestants lost a significant proportion of their body weight through extreme diets and hours of exercise at the show's end, many of them had returned to their old weight by the 6-year mark. Yet the most remarkable finding was that the participants' metabolisms had tremendously slowed down through the study period. As a result, they were basically burning about 500 fewer calories each day than would be anticipated for their current weight. This metabolic effect persisted even though most participants were slowly regaining the weight they lost. Researchers hypothesized that the body could be conserving energy to retain stored fat in anticipation of another period of food scarcity in the future, a type of survival mechanism. But again, researchers don't yet know why this happens or how long the effect persists in people. This may be one of the reasons why yo-yo dieters have such a hard time keeping the weight off. Another hypothesis about why it's hard to lose weight through exercise alone is that energy expenditure plateaus at a certain point. A study classified people into 3 types: the sedentary folk, the moderately active, and the superactive. Here, physical activity accounted for only 7 to 9% of the variation in calories burned among the groups. Moderately active people burn more energy than sedentary people. Still, above that, the energy used up seemed to have an upper limit. In other words, after a certain amount of exercise, you don't keep burning calories at the same rate. Total energy expenditure may eventually plateau. The old model of calories in versus calories out relied on the idea that there was a linear relationship between the amount of exercise added and the total amount of energy burned. This became known as the additive model of energy expenditure. As more evidence emerged on the topic, we found that increased physical activity did not result in a linear increase in total energy burned. Instead, there appeared to be an element of compensation. The body would try to reduce the amount of energy used in other processes to make up for this increase in physical activity. To put it simply, when you work out, your body limits the amount of energy it is willing to spend on processes it deems non-essential. So, in summary, if you embark on a weight loss journey, at the very least, try not to view any calories spent exercising as additional earned calories to consume. You will most likely subconsciously compensate, both behaviourally and metabolically, increasing your food intake and reducing your physical activity. Instead, think of exercise as a means to maximise your health and fitness, and not specifically for weight loss. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you found this video helpful or informative, and if you did, why not give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And before I go, this is your weekly reminder to never stop learning, because life never stops teaching. See you in the next one. Cheerio.